November 23rd, 2017. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 141 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
And sitting next to us is my sister-in-law, Elle. Elle, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here.
So all the listeners want to hear about this big slot win. We talked about it on a previous episode, and everybody said, oh, well, give us the details. Give us the details. Okay, we'll get Elle back on the show so she can talk about it. So let's hear this story about this win.
Okay. So I was going to a Barona Casino, which is a local El Cajon, California-based Indian casino. Mm-hmm. And I went there on one evening that was salt and pepper, all-you-can-eat lobster night.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I actually managed to get a group of about 8 people to go with me. We had a very nice time, and they were distributing lottery tickets, their own internal lottery.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And you can win maybe $20,000 or $40,000.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, it was only applicable if you came back the very next day. Well, I wasn't planning on doing that, but for some reason, I got a whole bunch of lottery tickets.
Okay.
And I was going to go to Mexico to a winery for the weekend.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. Were there the kind of tickets that you could give to somebody else? Or did
No.
No, so it had to be you.
It had to be present to win.
Okay, all right.
So I was thinking, no, I don't have time to do this. I'm packing to go to Mexico. And sure enough, by noon the next day, I was packed and ready to go.
Okay,
so I thought, maybe I'll take advantage of this and go see if I win the lottery tickets. Now, of course, I didn't tell anyone I was going.
Okay.
And I just secretly went off there.
All right.
Got there, and sure enough, I won $50.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, the line to collect it was so long that they said, we can stamp your hand, and if you come back within 2 hours, you can redeem it and just avoid the line and go keep playing. So I
Okay,
did.
good. That's it. That's a good tactic on their part, right?
right.
Well, you give you
Get them
time
on
to
the machine.
see if you can find something to do in the meantime.
Yeah, maybe there's something they can do in the casino.
And sure enough, I found a machine. It was a black diamond machine where you put in $dollar machine, $9 for a max bet.
Okay, dollar machine, $9 is the max bet.
Is the
Okay,
max bet.
yeah.
And I kept playing it, and I went for like 2 hours on the same $200 that kept keeping me somewhere between $400 and $600.
That's pretty good for $9 a pull. Yeah,
Yeah, because
okay.
that'd go fast.
Yeah.
Right. And what I've learned, and so I was actually, since the last time I talked to you all, the question was, is there a trend with jackpots? And I have noticed a trend.
A trend.
Mm-hmm. How I get the winning trend. If you play and you just keep losing, just stop. It's not going to turn around.
Okay.
Just stop.
That's probably good advice. I don't know if it's mathematically sound, but it's probably good advice. All right.
Well, you keep going into the dark abyss,
Yeah,
and you
that's
never
right.
get out.
That's right.
Just stop's good advice, period,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
But I've seen a trend that if you put in a little bit and you win and you keep kind of playing on the same money up and down like a roller coaster. Well, on a slot machine. Let me clarify. On a slot machine.
Okay.
All right.
Not at the craft table.
Uh-huh.
And you win, and you keep on this win of like, keep winning and maintaining somewhere between $200, $400. Ultimately, a jackpot's going to hit.
All right.
Okay, I know.
All right.
But through my
your opinion
personal
does not
experience-
necessarily reflect those of You Can Bet on That and YouCanBetOnThat.com. All right, go ahead.
That's correct. So I was playing for a while, and then all of a sudden I was up to $600, and I just kept spiraling down without coming back up. And I thought, you know what, cash out.
You're done. Okay.
So I cashed
All
out.
right, good.
I went over to redeem my $50, got up to the line, no line, great at the
good,
cashier.
good.
And they said, oh, this expired. I said, wait a minute, I thought I had 2 hours. They said, that was 5 minutes ago.
So you missed it by 5 minutes?
I missed it by 5 minutes, and they would not honor it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Don't worry about it, because before I left, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take a walk over to the High Limits, my favorite place, just to see.
All right.
And they have a small area for slot machines for High Limits. They have tables in there. So I walk in, and I just walk around and get a feel.
Okay.
Well, a woman over here just hit 2,000. Man over here just hit 1,770. Person over here just hit 1,200. And I thought, well, you know what? Usually when everyone wins, hop on a machine just to see.
All right.
So I walked around.
Does this reflect the...
Yeah, all right.
This is my trend.
All right, here we go.
And so I walked over to a machine, and I got that chill. Remember that feeling I told you about?
Yeah, I remember.
So I sat down, I put $100 into the machine, and I hit 1,350.
Okay, good.
in that first 100.
All right, so that's a hand pay. That's a W2G, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So
right.
I wait for them to come back, and they're not too quick on that.
All right.
So, and you can keep playing. So I think that's the point.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Okay, all right.
So you can keep playing whatever money you have still in there.
Okay, all right.
And then I went, wait a minute, let's take a look. And there was a machine just right across from me, maybe 3 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
That is my evil nemesis. Okay. It's the machine that either in the first $100 you hit 600 or it just drains you dry.
All right.
Okay.
And what's the denomination on it?
The denomination, you can alter it, is 5, 10, or 15. Well, I only play the $5.
Oh, okay. So it's a $5 machine, but you can play a $10 machine. You can play $15 machine. But if you play $5, it's 3 coins in, 15 total. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay,
Oh,
I
no,
got you.
So no, I'm sorry. Let me clarify.
Okay.
It's up to 1, 2, or 3 coins. 3 coins max. The coin value can either be $5, $10, or $25.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Well, I don't
So you're
ever-
playing the $5 denomination,
Correct.
but you're playing full coin in.
Correct.
So it's $15 a pull.
$15
Okay.
a
Right.
pull.
Good. Okay.
So
yes.
I put $100 into that machine just after they paid me the $13.50,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, let's just see. Well, that ate that away really fast. I said, you know what? Let me try one more. I put another $100 into the machine, and I hit 600.
Okay. There you go.
So now I keep playing, and it goes down, and then I hit 600 again.
Okay,
And
good.
I thought, see, it's doing that ebb and flow
That thing. Your theory. Yep.
And just at that time, my host comes by, and her name's Creta, and she comes up to me. She goes, how's it going? Did you win anything in the lottery? And I said, I did. I won $50, but I was 5 minutes too late in redeeming it. I know, is there anything you can, you're my host. Can you
Yeah.
do something?
Yeah.
She goes, oh, I don't think so, but you know what? Hold on, let me see.
Good.
Well, she disappears. Well, she's gone for a long time. So the money that I had in the machine just went down, down. And I'm like,
is it worth the $50, right?
right. So I actually cashed out the little bit that was there, and I just sat there and just waited at the machine.
Okay.
My host comes back with a voucher for $200 and says, I couldn't get you the 50, but how about 200?
Beautiful.
And I said, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good trade.
Yeah.
And the nice thing again about Barona is when they give you the vouchers, it's not free play, it's actual cash.
You could go straight to the cashier and cash it out
Correct.
for $200.
Right,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
And even better is she sent one of the cashiers to me, so I didn't even have to leave the machine.
Wow, that is nice.
That's
2
great.
$100 bills.
Oh, terrific.
Right? Instead of leaving because I was about to leave,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
waiting so
Gosh,
long,
yeah.
I put it into the machine I'm sitting at.
Of course. Good for you.
So I put in the first one and it eats it. I put in the second one, I win $600.
All right, you're playing.
See, and I'm on this roll again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, this is fantastic. So as I'm going through it, I'm down to about 400. And then I hit the machine one more time. And then all of a sudden it pops up red 777, red 777. And I'm sitting here going, and then it'll be like a middle line. Not
Sure,
even-
yeah,
not
right.
even a
We're all
bar.
used to that, right?
Not
Right,
even a
yeah.
bar.
Yep.
That's what mine always look like.
Yep.
And it pops up triple red 7.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I'm still looking at it saying, I don't exactly know what this is.
Sure, it's going to pay something, but you're not quite sure, right?
So
yeah.
I look up to the top and it says progressive. I look up to the very top line. It says $173,799 in change. And change.
Right.
And at first I went, what? And then I shriek.
Yeah.
Now, I have a kind of a lower registered voice, so a shriek doesn't sound that nice, in a casino. And there aren't a lot of people around actually in the high limit area except employees.
Okay.
And then I yell, I won $173,000. Well, that was dumb again.
Yeah, really. Call attention here. Here she is. Watch her leave.
Look at me. And sure enough, everyone, of course, comes racing.
Yeah.
And I'm galloping around the high limit slots like a horse.
Oh my
Going,
gosh.
giddy up. And everyone's cheering and sure enough, within minutes, the general manager
Yeah.
of Barona comes walking in with his assistant
Yeah.
to congratulate me. Now, here's something a little different. I have won jackpots in the past. I've won 50,000, 25,000, 7,000, 8,000, etc.
Right.
And usually they do on a larger one some sort of verification to make sure I didn't alter
Of course.
the
Sure.
machine.
Right.
Yeah.
They did absolutely none, at least visibly, that I
Really?
could see.
Really? Usually they
Nothing.
open the machine.
Yeah,
and
to
go
check
through
stuff
it
and-
Chip, nothing
Yeah.
like that at all.
Really?
Really?
Huh. Okay.
And so I asked the general manager, I said, do I have to stay here and get a check tomorrow from like the company who has the machines?
Right.
Like, like IG.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case, right? Where it's not really the casino that's paying you the money, it's the slot manufacturer,
That's
right? Yeah,
correct.
exactly. Okay.
In this particular case, the general manager said, no, this is our machine.
It's your okay.
We pay them a percentage
Okay.
to have the machine in-house. And he goes, we'll give you a check right now or cash or whatever you want.
Should ask for cash. That would have been great.
Oh God, yeah, that would have been.
And they asked me in any denomination you want. And if you want it in dollars, give us a little time. We can get it. And I was laughing. And I said, no, I would love a check for $170,000. Give me the balance in cash.
Okay.
And that was that. They withheld no federal taxes.
Nothing.
Really?
Okay.
Gave me the full amount, gave me my W-2G.
Right.
And normally they want you to clear it out.
Right. Spin it. Yeah.
Correct? They didn't.
Okay.
No one required that of me. I called a home
Yeah.
and said, stay there. I'm coming to protect you.
Yeah. So how long from the point that you hit the jackpot to actually having the check in your hand, how long did that take?
10 minutes.
Are you kidding?
Unbelievable.
I was telling Mike before you got here, Elle, that I haven't seen you since you actually hit this.
Yes.
So we haven't talked about it. And on a previous episode, Mike, you were talking about a patient that you had who hit, I don't know, $200,000.
Yeah, and he was there all day.
I thought you were going to tell us this story about how you were there for a couple of hours while they verified and got your information and
Well, I've
everything.
spent longer getting a hand pay on $1,000 than that.
Yeah.
And it's true. I usually get paid, it takes a lot longer to get like a $3,000 payout. I got it within 10 minutes. They were really quick. They asked if I needed anything like a room.
Maybe because it was high
champagne,
limit
something.
room or
Maybe because it
something?
was high limit and they own the machine. Maybe there's less paperwork. Wow. I mean, I'm still kind of, my jaw is open just thinking how quickly this happened.
Yeah.
Because this is the biggest jackpot that anybody I've known has ever hit. Now, I realize it's a high limit, $5.15 per pull thing, but still, $173,000. I mean, gosh, wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I would have expected you to be there hours.
Yeah.
And hours.
And it was a handwritten check.
Gosh. A handwritten check. So that doesn't even, it's not like a computerized,
No.
No, well, there's probably just a general manager probably has a checkbook, right?
Yeah, I guess
signed
so.
off.
It's something, wow, I can't believe that.
So get this. So that was on a Thursday evening.
Yeah, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I think you do too, Mike.
Yeah,
we heard
we
about it.
know. We already know.
And so it just so happened again, that weekend I was going to a wedding down in Ensenada in the wine country there. And I was gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come Monday morning, my mom calls up and my sister who says, do you want to go up to Harrah's? They're giving away purses.
Yeah, they were giving away those purses.
Right. And I'm like, but I don't use a purse. And my mom's like, that's fine. I'll take yours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go.
And of course, she got 3 of the exact same purse. We go up there and I said, I really don't want to gamble. I was just at the casino 2 nights before I went to Mexico. And they said, well, just go up there. We'll pick up the purse. We'll eat. We'll come home.
Okay.
So we picked up the purse. We ate at Harrah's, Southern California.
How many times has that ever happened where somebody goes to a casino, picks up the purse, and goes home?
Right.
That never happens.
It's never happened in the history of
never happened in the
casinos. Just
history
pick
of a
up your gift and
casino.
leave. No.
It's and we say that all the time. Oh, we're just going to go up there, get our free play, and come home. We never do.
We're there for hours.
It's never happened. Okay.
So this time we actually honored it a little bit.
A little bit. I think something's coming. Here we go.
And so instead of going to the buffet, which we usually do, I used my free food voucher and we actually had tapas at the steakhouse.
Okay.
Which was
right.
really lovely.
Oh, good.
When we were done, I said, are we playing a little or are we going home?
That's where it starts.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the question. It's
It's
always,
a-
should we play a little?
It's up to you, Dr. Mike. Isn't
always-
it? It's always that.
It's
Should we
always,
play a little,
should we
Mark?
play
Yeah,
a
it's
little?
up to you, Dr.
And
Mike.
It's a little. It's not like, you want to play? Let's go play 5 hours. No, it's, should we play a little?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I talked to my sister and she said, I have free play. And I said, I probably do too, unless Mark played it. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Shh. All right, moving on.
All right. And then so I wasn't planning on going there. I didn't have any money. So I went to the ATM, got a little money out, and I went to the one
What?
machine.
You had no money?
I had
You went
no
to a
money.
casino to get a purse without money?
And it's funny because when I gave the purse to my mom, culturally, if you give a purse or a wallet, you're supposed to put money in it.
Oh, okay, right.
And my
yes,
mom
right.
received the purse and said, where's the money?
Shut up, Mom. Take your purse.
It was a free purse.
And so I went to one machine, and this is a true story. One machine, I put in $100, lost, put in a second $100, and now is this ebb and flow thing. So I won $500, and I'm like, this is great. And this is a 2 times 5 times 10 machine, which was a $5 per coin, 3 coins max, so $15
So, okay,
a coin.
all right, yep.
And so $100 went pretty fast. The
But
second 100,
this wasn't in the high limit room.
This
though,
was in the high limit
It
room.
was, okay, still. Okay, go ahead.
in the high limit room, and I put in the first 100 gone. Second 100, I win $500, right? So I'm playing on their money. And then sure enough, before that $500 was through, I hit $25,000. 25,000. 5 times,
crazy.
10 times.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now,
crazy.
that one took about 15 minutes to pay me out.
Of course.
And it was literally 5 minutes before our decided time that we were going to leave.
Okay, all right.
And then we left.
So you got out of there.
I took a check again, and then a full
Did you
amount.
take the full 25,000?
I take the full 25,000. And my sister was like, "Are you going to play?" I said, "I have no more money." And when my sister said, "Here's my $300 voucher. Would you play this for me?" Well, of course, I didn't win anything with it, but it was worth the risk.
Unbelievable.
Did you take pictures of the checks?
I do take pictures of the checks.
Okay, good. And you frame them, I hope?
I do not. They're in my file folder for W-2Gs for when I do
All right.
the
No,
IRS.
they need to be framed. You need to put those up on your wall. at
Yeah,
your
it's just
house.
like, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can see over there, Elle, but behind the bottles on the wall there is a copy of the check that I got from Caesars when we hit all those 4s years ago. So that's there
you
for,
gotta
as proof.
frame them and put it up on the wall. When people come over, oh, this is the living room. There's my checks. That's what I do.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
But what's interesting about this, and you would think you would scream it from the mountaintops,
Mm-hmm.
other than my immediate family and closest friends, nobody knows that I win these big jackpots.
Okay, all right.
Well, now they do.
Except for all the people who listen to our show. Yeah, that's right.
Don't tell anybody. Please, listeners, don't tell anybody.
Oh, my gosh. Well, congratulations. Just spectacular.
That's a wonderful run.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I wish
amazing.
I could get something like that for a change.
Yeah, well, you
Just
need to switch to slots, my friend.
Yeah.
You
The only ebb and flow I get is in my bathroom at home.
all right.
And it never turns out to be a jackpot.
Well, now, Mike, you are going to Vegas not Thanksgiving weekend, but the following weekend, December 1st and 2nd, for the Great Gift Wrap Up.
I will be there too.
Elle,
Yeah.
you're also going. Mike, your dad is going.
My dad's going, and most likely my wife.
Okay. Elle, you're going. My sister Sue is going. My sister Dana is going. My mom is going. I'm not going.
You're the only one in your
I am
family.
a co-host of a gambling podcast.
The only one in your family not going. Shame.
I don't understand that
Shame,
at all.
shame, shame.
Now, why aren't you coming with us?
Well, you know what it is? It's just too hard for us to kind of get away for a weekend like that. Not because of the kids, but more for the pets. And we're actually going to be watching your dog while you're gone. Right?
Okay.
So she's the reason.
That's right. Yeah, you're the reason we can't go, Elle. No, this will be good because Sherry and I we'll probably head up to Harrah's and just the two of us, So
Yeah.
we'll probably be gambling as well. Just not in
Harrah's
Vegas.
Rincon.
That's right. Yeah. I got to get up to 7 stars. So I got to get more play
You
in.
do.
So yeah.
You're so close.
I'm so
He's so
close, yeah.
close
Yeah.
to 7 stars. He can
I really
smell
am.
it.
It's very close.
It's very, very close.
If I don't hit it, I've done something wrong because it's close.
What should happen is you should just give me your card to play.
Yeah, that's true.
I could
You
get
know,
That's not a bad idea actually. Since you're, it's not
Because
a bad
no one
idea.
ever approaches me in Vegas.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take your card.
Yeah. And you can. So just as an aside, everybody, we're not going to actually do this. That's against the rules and regulations of Total Rewards. So that's all. Well, very good, Elle. Again, congratulations. Thanks for coming over again and telling us this story. Just spectacular. And, hopefully your luck continues and good luck in Vegas.
I know. I'm just going to stay away from them for a while,
Yeah,
except for to pick up my presents at the Great Gift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you gotta do that.
Get your
Yeah.
presents.
Yeah.
Get your presents, and then you'll be walking. Well, maybe I'll just put $10 in this machine.
All right. Thanks again, Elle. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. Now, I don't think we've actually mentioned this on the show, but your dad was actually in the hospital for a little while.
Yeah, he was in 8 days in the hospital with pneumonia.
Yeah, and it was actually when we were in Vegas for the summit for part of it.
First part of it.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
no, he was in the hospital before we left.
Okay,
And then I said, I shouldn't go. And no, you go to Vegas. So Then I came back and he was in for a few more days and then he got out.
And it turns out he was in for pneumonia. And your dad's 90. He just turned 91, but at the time, 90 years old. Boy, 90 years old with pneumonia. I mean, that's serious, right?
Yeah, well, it was definitely serious. Yeah.
But I mean, he's recovered. He's going to Vegas with you.
Yeah, he's going to Vegas.
He's been going out to the casino with us.
He's been going on his own up to Barona.
Yeah, now tell the story about Barona because this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, so he drives himself to the trolley stop and then gets on a bus that takes him out to Barona, which is not easy for him getting on that bus.
That's right, yes.
That's the hard thing is getting on the bus.
Getting up the stairs.
Getting up the stairs of the bus.
Yeah.
But anyway, I told him, I said, well, they have a lift in the back for wheelchairs. Just, get on that lift and, lift him up there. But anyway, he gets up there. So he's playing his machine that he likes to play. A guy comes by, one of the hosts or some person who works there.
Yeah.
And my dad tells him, I've been in the hospital and I was in the hospital in October and I missed my end of the month. Every half a month, he gets a certain amount of free play.
Okay.
So he said, I was in the hospital. I couldn't use my free play from October.
Right.
And he told me he was going to do this. And I'm like, Dad, come on. He's like, no, I'm going to ask him. Yeah, sure enough, they gave him his free play.
So your dad said, hey, I was in the hospital last part of October, so I couldn't come in and get my free play. Can you give it to me anyway?
Yeah, right. Now, it ended October 31st. And when he asked this, it was like November 6th or 7th.
Okay.
So he's like a week later than, anywhere else, they would just say no.
Well, it pays to ask.
Yeah.
Didn't he say they also gave him a voucher for the food court?
Right. Then they asked him if he wanted some food, so he got a voucher for the food court. And, he doesn't want to take time to stop.
Yeah.
So he gets like 6 or 7 hot dogs and takes them home.
That's it. He knows what he's doing. Well, we only have good things to say about Barona, and this is another case of just great customer service.
The customer service there is, bar none, the best.
Yeah,
I mean, that is unheard of. They gave him his free play a week later. He didn't have any proof.
He didn't have any proof. Just
they just assume he's not going to lie, and he wasn't lying.
No.
But he's like, well, I'll ask, and they gave it to him.
We have nothing bad to say about Barona except the craps there.
Yeah.
We don't know the crews at the craps table for whatever reason they're just a bummer. So
and
we don't
my
like
dad
playing
says
there.
that too, right?
Well, he says that you can't win there.
Yeah, he says you can't win at craps there because he says he goes and he'll watch for a little bit and everyone's losing. And so he walks away.
Yeah. Well, good story. We met a couple of listeners over the last 2 weeks that we were heading up to Harrah's, Southern California. First week, it was Fred. He just came up and said hello. I think he was there with family.
Right.
He had called in. I don't know if people remember. He'd called in about how he and his buddies had pooled their money so that they could play 100 times odds at Casino Royale.
Right,
and they made their point, kind of a fun story. And then this last week, we met up with listener John, who had flown in from London, and he played with us a good long time, almost the whole night. Yeah. And that was fun because we were talking about different strategies and, about the game and how things happen.
Right.
And
it's just fun. He's from London, too.
Yeah, but he's American.
He's American,
right? Yeah,
right.
But he lives in London now. That's
London,
right. Yeah.
So that's a long ways.
It's a long ways. And John, you were wondering how we did afterwards. You said, I'll tune into the show and find out how you guys did. Not well. It did not get any better after you left.
So. That night started off so good.
It started out fine.
It just progressively got worse and worse and worse as the night went on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how we ended that night. One more thing before we get to our voicemails, too. We've been talking about how we wanted to do another Ask the Dealer segment, but we just haven't been getting enough feedback. Well, one of our listeners is a dealer, and he's on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Bear Maulings, like being mauled by a bear. So BEAR Maulings. And he has offered his Twitter handle to anybody who would like to ask him questions. So just go on to Twitter and direct your tweet to @BearMaulings, with a question. He'll be happy to answer. In fact, one of our listeners has already contacted him, and he came back with an answer. So
that's great. So there you get it right from the bear's mouth.
Right from the bear's mouth. That's right. All right.
Well, before we go on, we should mention something that happened a couple of weeks ago out at Harrah's, Southern California. Yeah, there was quite an incident on the craps table. Evidently, when I was shooting the dice, and in the middle of the roll, not at the beginning, in the middle of the roll, the dealer slid the dice to me. Put the dice right in front of me, right next to my line bets.
Yeah, it was clear who he had pushed the dice to.
And I looked down at the dice, and before I could make a move, the guy next to me reaches over, grabs the dice, and throws it on the table. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
What was he thinking?
I don't know what he was thinking. Now, who stands next to me all the time?
Look, anybody who's played craps with us knows that I'm just real fidgety.
Yeah.
And I can't stand still usually. I'm walking around and looking at slots and talking to people and whatever. And I come back to the table, when the dice are being slid, and for some reason I think I'm still shooting. And it's so obvious. The guy, I'm thinking, oh boy, they push the dice to Mike, even though I'm the shooter. Here, I'll get him. And I pick him up and check him down.
There's only the two of us on the table. So you had been shooting before.
Yeah, right.
But the dice had already moved to me, and I had already rolled several times.
Right, it wasn't like you were coming out or anything.
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
The funny thing is you pick them up, and the dealers just laughed and laughed and laughed. They called no roll. Yeah, because out there it doesn't matter.
Right, because the cards had not been turned over. Sure, the dice had been thrown.
Right, but no cards are exposed, so they just send them back to me to roll up.
Yeah. Luckily,
they talked about it all night. They laughed about that all night.
I have no excuse for it. If they had been pushed to me, and I picked, oh no, wait, it's Dr. Mike's roll, but no, they were pushed directly in front. He wasn't close.
No, and the funny thing is, I was thinking about this afterwards, is when the dice are being pushed towards you, when they're being slow, you're usually fidgeting. You're saying something, well, here they come. They're coming. They're getting here. They're almost here. Looks like they're going to get here, when the dealer's taking their time sliding them. But this time, there was none of that hey, they're not near me. You just reached over. I mean, almost bowled me over to get them.
It was. I was kind of like, the idiot stick man doesn't even know who to push the dice to. Well, yes. So they didn't, it was no roll, and then Mike rolled. It turns out they looked at all the cards to just see what would have happened. Luckily, I would not have rolled a 7. You did not roll a 7.
No,
so at least
both ways they were winners.
So at least we dodged that bullet. So I have no excuse. Just a bonehead move. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Sonny.
Hey, guys. First time caller. Love the show. Listen to all the podcasts. This is Sonny from Sarasota. Got a Biloxi trip coming up. I'll give you some details of any hot rolls I have. But I want to share you an old trip I had in Kentucky, of all places. I can't remember the place, but I had to go to a wedding with my fiance. And I said, what the hell is in Kentucky? And after I did some research, I found casinos in Kentucky, so I was happy to go to the wedding. So, anyways, at the craps table real quick, I practice at home a lot, and I'm practice games at the house, so I practice my rolls quite a bit. I'm a believer and achiever. But anyway, I'm a left-hand thrower, so I'm stick right 1 or 2, and my girlfriend, I just give her some money, and she goes where it's a spot available. But I like to go on the right side. And so I'm rolling, and dice going around the table, and my fiance's on the other side. And a guy comes up to me on my right-hand side, and he goes, hey, man, can you drop me a red? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I drop him a red, but he's cashing in. He wants to put some money down on the fire bet. So he drops it down, and, the guy craps out one time, no big deal, and I cashes in for $1,000. So I figured he's going to give me that red back to me. So, the guy comes, he's rolling. I'm like, yeah, this guy's not giving it back to me. I'm like, what the hell, man? So, 2 rolls later, I said, dude, you going to give me the red back or what? I mean, I dropped you a red. You going to give it back to me or not? He said, I gave it back to you. I was like, no, you didn't, bro. I was like, you didn't give it back to me. I was like, so back and forth. He goes, you know what? Oh, I gave it back to you, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? I don't even want it. Forget about it. I don't want it. So anyway, he gives it to me. He goes, I don't even want it. Forget about it. So he drops it to me. I said, I don't even want it. Here, I'll just put it on the fire bet. Now, I have never put a fire bet. It's just a long shot. It's not going to do it. So I put it down on the fire bet. It's his roll. So he continues to roll point after point after point. So he makes 4 points, and I can't believe it. I'm like, I didn't even want to place this bet. And here it is. He's made 4 points going for his 5th. I didn't even know what the payout was. Turns out he winds up hitting the 4 points. I get paid. I mean, what a nice score that was. And turns out my girlfriend on the other side, now mind you, she's just a basic bettor, and she's got a couple bucks down on the fire bet because she's talking to the guy next to him and he says, oh, what's this bet, blah, blah, blah. He says, oh, it's a good bet. She put some money down on the fire bet. You never know, She didn't even know what the fire bet was. So she cashes in on the fire bet too. Well, it just made for the trip. That was our first day at the casino, so we had a nice bankroll just to play right.
He got cut off there at the 3-minute mark. We're going to hear from Sonny a little bit later, too. So I don't know what the moral of the story is here. Is it that you should always loan money to strangers when they come up to the table and they don't have chips yet? Because then he had to,
or never loan money to
right, never, right, because they'll think that they paid you back. Of course, in this case, when the guy ultimately paid him back, it was for a fire bet that he didn't intend to bet, but then he won it. So
so it turned out okay.
Not sure what the moral is. Yeah. All right. So on a previous episode, we were trying to figure out why on a cruise they would have $6 minimum blackjack tables. It just seemed like a pretty odd amount. Well, we got a call from Robert who kind of cleared things up. So let's listen.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Robert from Mississippi. I was just calling as a follow-up from your voicemail that you received about the cruise and the $6 minimum on blackjack. The first cruise that I ever went on, I was an extremely low roller, and I was asking the same question, and what they explained back to me is that your $6 minimum could actually be split between your main blackjack bet and your dollar or more on your little bonus bet, the pair plus or whatever the bonus was at the time. So I think what they're trying to do is actually get you to put $5 on the main bet or increments of 5 and then sucker you into that high advantage for the house on the dollar bonus bet. So just an explanation there, but their $6 minimum could include the main bet and the side bet. So thanks a lot. Really enjoy the podcast. Bye.
Okay, so it's an aggregate.
So it's an aggregate $6.
Yeah.
So you have to have $6. It's kind of like a roulette table where you have to have like
$10
total bet. You can bet quarters on each number, but you got to have $10 out there.
Right.
So it's an aggregate thing?
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, it's a way to try to get you to make the side bet, whatever it is.
Yeah, well.
So and I guess that would make more sense than putting $6 out there because they can't pick. Of course, in our original call, the payoff was 6 to 5 on blackjack anyway.
Right.
So oh well.
Yeah, if it's 6 to 5, you put 5, and then you would put the other dollar on the
something like that. Oh well. So anyway, that explains it. We were trying to figure it out. So, yeah. All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Danny from Houston, Texas. You might remember I called over a year ago about wanting to know how to play craps because we're going to have it at my company Christmas party. That has been discontinued this year, and I'm really upset. Now we're going bowling, and so I am going to protest by not bowling and working instead. Probably not. I'll probably bowl. But, hey, I enjoy your podcast, guys. I have 3 really quick things I wanted to say. I always listen, never know how to contribute, but I have a few things. First of all, from Houston, home of the world champion Houston Astros, finally. Oh, my gosh. I've been going to Houston Astros games for decades, and I even cried because they've been my team. I'm from San Antonio, vacationed every summer to see them play with my dad. Saw the first games that Craig Biggio and Bagwell played in, and my dad said those guys are going to be something. And I remember a few years back, I went to the first game that Jose Altuve played in, and I looked over at my friends. I said, that guy's going to be something. And I had a moment there where I was like, Dad, I turned into you. So it's super exciting. But the gambling aspect of that is I decided this year, back in my April trip to Vegas, I was going to bet on the Astros to win the World Series. So gosh damn it, when I go next week for my birthday, my 42nd birthday, to Vegas, I get to cash in on that ticket.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that. Yay, Astros. So my question with that is, can I place a bet for next year for them to win again? Because it's going to happen. Obviously, they have to cut through San Diego and, that tough team that's out there. Just kidding. Sorry. But I want to know how early you can place a bet for something like the World Series or the Super Bowl, things like that. Another question I had is we are going for my birthday, and some friends want to play craps, and I am not the best teacher, so I wanted to know if you have a recommendation where we can get lessons on the Strip. We are going to be staying at Caesar's Palace, which is not usually where I stay. I usually stay at Cosmo or Bellagio, but this time we're going to do Caesar's because it accommodates everybody that's going. And I want to know if they do lessons in craps or where we might be able to get some before actually playing. And then the third thing I have to say isn't really a question, it's just a mea culpa. I went to the summit for the first time ever, which was super fun. At the end of the 500 show, I had to sneak out because I really had to go to the restroom. So snuck out, came back out, and then as I'm standing there, I see Mark and Dr. Mike sneaking out too, and I totally fanboyed and froze up and didn't say anything. I know. That's how big of a celebrity y'all are collectively. And so just know that in my head, I said all the right things. And
And Danny got cut off there too. Danny, you should have come up to us and said hi.
If any two people are approachable, it's us.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Believe me.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? He mentioned Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio.
Yeah.
I always felt bad for them. Those guys were great players, and Houston never did anything while they were there. Those guys were awesome. But the best thing about the Houston Astros winning the World Series this year, it's just one more team that
can you
is
imagine,
out of the way so we can say that we're the worst ever.
Can you imagine, Mike, going just your whole life and your team just never wins? And here this last year, the Astros, and the year before the Cubs. And it's never going to happen for us.
No, it's
we're going to go our whole life. It really is not.
Our whole lives.
Yeah. So I'm happy for, the Houston fans and the Cubs fans and what
I'm happier for us because now we can say, we don't have to worry
it's absolutely
about
us.
Houston. They have nothing on us.
Yeah.
Nothing on us. They've won championships.
That's right.
We've won squat. We're ebbing and flowing through life, baby.
That's right. Ebbing and flowing. Now, as far as how soon you can bet a futures like next year's World Series, they usually have those odds up, the day after the World Series ends.
Yeah. Right.
So Danny, when you go to Vegas, you'll be able to bet on the Astros again to win the World Series. I don't know I didn't look at the odds right now, but you'll be able to bet on that. It's the same thing with the Super Bowl. When the Super Bowl ends, the next day almost, they've got some kind of futures up there to see what happens. So you can do that right away.
As far as craps lessons, I don't think Caesars ever has a table, but I'll tell you where to go. Go over to Flamingo.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, Flamingo. And now see, this is we're going back a little ways, and so we haven't. I can't say for sure that they still have it, but Flamingo had lessons.
They used to always have lessons there.
Yep. Venetian also had it. So, but Flamingo would be closer to where they are. So at least check there and see. Usually in the mornings, I don't know, 10 a.m. or something like that.
Right. It's usually early in the mornings, like 9 or 10 a.m. That's where I'd check first.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. Yep. I agree. All right. Next up is Sue.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's your sister.
Oh,
and I wanted to call because I have a Vegas trip as we speak. I'm in Vegas right now, and I wanted to give my trip report. I always like hearing other people's reports when they call into your show. So I wanted to give mine because mine's probably a little different than other people's. I'm actually not here in Vegas to gamble at all. I'm here to play soccer in a tournament over Veterans Day weekend. And I can probably bet that none of your other listeners have to play soccer and not gamble at all. So you can bet on that. I wanted to also give you an update. When we come to Vegas, we drive from San Diego, so we take 15 North. And as you come into State Line or Prim, I can still call it State Line, come down the hill, you know it well, and we usually blow right through State Line, and we pull over at Gold Strike. When we came last time, and the times before, I'm going to say 2 times before, they've done away with coins in the slots. So when you get paid out, you get the voucher as usual. Anyway, when I was driving by, the marquee said, coins are back. So I interpreted that to mean that they're back to old school payments of coins. I didn't ask anybody while I was there because, well, I didn't really find anyone friendly enough to ask. So I just kind of made that assumption. Anyway, I stop at Gold Strike, like I said, to usually use the bathroom and stretch my legs a little bit. I love Gold Strike because it has so much character. It's pretty run down and pretty smoky, but they also have the classic cars from the movies. The Batmobile is still there.
Oh, good.
I also wanted to mention I was listening to a recent podcast, and a gentleman called and was talking about the property to the north of Gold Strike, which came up on my Google Maps as Goog Springs, not good, G-O-O-D, but Goog, G-O-O-G Springs. So I made a note of that. The address was for Nevada Landing. That was the property to the north of Gold Strike. And I remember it was like a Colorado Belle or a riverboat theme. And I recall driving back from Vegas years ago, probably 10 years ago, and the property itself was flattened, but the sign was still there. So I think there were several years, maybe 2 or 3 years, where they kept the sign up. So that was listed on my Google as 2 Goog Springs, Gene, Nevada. So that was on the north side of the 15, and you could look across to the correctional center to the south, which is right by Gold Strike. Gold Strike holds a little special place in my heart. It has a lot of character, and if those walls could talk, I'm sure it would tell some great stories. I hope that they will keep that open and not create that master community that was in the works by MGM. I think that was the plan back in the day when they leveled Nevada Landing. They wanted to make a master community. And obviously that hasn't worked out because there's nothing there. So when I finish playing soccer this weekend, I'll give you a call and let you know if anything happened. Okay, bye. Well, congratulations, you two, for winning the Tiffany gift cards at Breeders' Cup. Bye.
Yeah. You know what my wife got, by the way?
Oh, for Tiffany?
For Tiffany. She had $250. Guess what she got?
What'd she get?
Keychain.
Nice.
Yeah, keychain.
Yep.
She went through everything. She's like, well, I could have got like a little trinket to put on a charm bracelet. She could have got the charm, not the bracelet.
Yeah, just the charm.
Just the charm. And she said, well, I really do need a keychain for her. She got a new car, so she wanted a new keychain.
Nice. Got a Tiffany keychain.
She got a Tiffany keychain for her car.
Yeah, very good.
It cost $225, and I think, and the rest went to taxes, and I think she ended up having to pay a few bucks.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, old Nevada Landing. That was the idea before the economy tanked. They were going to build a whole community there, and instead the Nevada Landing sign just stayed there for a long time. The one thing I remember about Nevada Landing, we stopped there once. This was before the fire bet was a thing. And they had a deal there where if you were the shooter and you established and made all 6 individual points, you just got like $1,000. I think it was $1,000 just for doing it. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. And then the fire bet came from that.
Well, I like that she thinks coins are bad.
Yeah. So, that's probably what it means,
she didn't
right?
verify it, but is it coins like COINS or is it COYNES?
I'm guessing it's COINS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coins.
Yeah. Coins.
Coins are bad.
That's what I'm guessing. Coins are bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, that if they are,
yes,
Sue should stop and get a bucket.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because
they'll
have to have buckets if coins are back.
Yeah, you're right.
So she needs a Gold Strike bucket.
Get a bucket and maybe get one for you. Do you still have all your buckets?
I still have all my buckets somewhere in the garage. Yeah. Some of them, probably have paint in them, but I do have some buckets.
Yeah. All right, we'll hear from Sue again. Next up is Trevor.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Trevor from Columbus, Ohio. I was calling for a quick trip report, a recent trip to Vegas with my father-in-law and brother and family friend. We're solely craps players, so that's all we do, and pretty loyal Total Rewards members, so we usually don't stray from that few block area center strip. But the tables were cold this past trip on the strip, so we decided for a change of scenery and went downtown. And I just wanted to sing the praises of a place that I never thought I would, the Plaza. I usually had a negative opinion of the place. I didn't like the smell on the inside, and it always seemed like it was pretty dead in there.
It's
and
true.
We went in on 3 consecutive evenings because we were having such good luck there. We went there on a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday night. The crews were great. There were 2 dealers in particular, Harry and Josh, who were just amazing, and they were super helpful and really appreciative of our tips and just willing to do what they needed to do to keep us happy. And the drink service was flowing well. There was an interesting story that happened while I was there that I just thought I would mention. Despite the great experience that we had with the cruise, there was one roll where a lady had made, I think, 7 points and had just set her 8th and made it right back. And the dealer forgot to turn the puck off, and it was on the number 6 when he paid out the pass line. So the next roll, which was the come out roll, the lady threw a 7, and the stick man saw the puck on, and he goes, 7 out. And the dealer started raking in the chips, and the whole table grumbled. And then there was a long period where we had to figure out what everybody's bets were to get them back up, which was kind of a hassle. But immediately after we got the bets sorted back out, she set the point back at 6 again and then rolled a 12 and then a 7 out, which was pretty disappointing considering the roll she was on. And I try not to be superstitious, but things like that usually seem to come after something funky happens, and I'd never seen that happen at a craps table, so just kind of wanted to tell the story. But otherwise, the Plaza was awesome. Plan to go back there next time. Really enjoyed it. And just want to say thanks to you guys for all that you do on the podcast.
Sometimes dealers are so quick to start collecting the chips when there's a 7 out. Mike, I don't know if you remember this, but years ago we were playing at Lady Luck, which is now Downtown Grand.
Okay.
And the dice went off the table, I think. And you and I, you say you never call your bets off, but you and I both called all of our bets off.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
I don't remember.
All right. Well,
I'm sure it happened.
Okay. So the next roll was a 7 out.
Okay.
And the dealer just started collecting everything. There were tons of bets out on the table.
Right.
And we're like, wait. We were off. And he had mixed up so many chips that it took so long to go back and figure out exactly what we had out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a similar
They
experience.
do that a lot.
Yeah.
They do that
Yeah, they're
a
just
lot.
ready to, they're quick, so.
Right.
But yeah, as far as making a 7 out more likely, well, that's not really the case. But I know it is annoying. Yeah.
It's very annoying. Well, it's a good lesson for Trevor that once you get over the smell, the plaza's not that bad.
Mike, for as often...
You just got to get by the smell.
For as often as we've been downtown,
Yeah.
the last few trips, how come it has never occurred to us? We have never suggested, let's go to the plaza.
Yeah, I
now,
don't know.
he's not wrong about the smell. I remember the smell.
The smell's bad, yeah. But you get over it.
But you'd think with as often as we've got to go back to the plaza. Isn't that funny? We never ever, and there it is. It's not like you can miss it.
Right,
You're walking down the street.
It's right there. Yeah.
We'll have to go back.
Well, we'll go to the plaza. We'll
right.
show him some love one of
Okay.
these times.
All right, we'll do that.
Get a gas mask and go to the plaza.
All right, next call.
Hello. I got a Vegas trip report. We played at the Orleans. They have a replay bet there. First time playing it, shooter made 8 points. 3 of the points were on the 10, and we thought we won $5,000 because we hit the 3 points on the 10. But come to find out, we had to repeat 4 times on the 10. So next row, after the point was established, 2 guys fighting over a $5 chip, and on the place bets, get thousands of dollars on the table. So I told the 2 guys, here's the $5 and end your guys' argument. Next thing you know, the shooter comes out, 7 out. And I was like, oh, these guys just win. Ruin the shooter's rhythm. Oh, it's very depressing when the table is hot, 2 guys fighting over $5. Okay. Yeah.
All right. I know there are some people who believe in dice influencing.
Right.
And that's fine. There's some people who don't believe in dice influencing, but do believe that a shooter can kind of get into a rhythm.
Right.
We also don't believe that, but we
But
can't
you
prove
do-
that doesn't happen.
Right. You do see it happen.
It can happen,
sticks
right?
into your head.
So if it's any consolation, this didn't cause a 7 to come up, but I understand the frustration.
But I do hate it when people get in arguments.
Oh, sure. It's
Especially
just
over stupid stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's always over stupid stuff. If it was something important, I don't know.
Hey, you forgot to pay my hard way. You owe me $1,000. Sure.
Right. Yeah, I understand that, but it's usually they're fighting over did he pay the VIG or it's $5? And I'm always like, here's $5.
Yeah, just let's go.
Shut up, let's go. I'm tired of listening to you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that is frustrating. I don't think that makes 7 come up or the point or anything else. It's just frustrating.
It's not. It takes away a lot of the fun.
Yeah,
sure.
it ruins your mood, you know, and you're sitting there watching 2 people fight over $5.
Yes, no, I
oh my
understand.
God. They bought in for $10,000 and they're fighting over $5.
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Sonny again.
Hey guys, new to the podcast, love it, trying to catch up on everyone. This is Sonny in Sarasota, Florida. Just coming off a Biloxi trip, had a great time, roller coaster ride on the craps table. Well, I was successful in a couple of missions, which was hopping the $6 sevens on the come out, hitting it 3 times for 800. Wish I stuck with that system because I actually hit it 1 time for my buddy and got away from it and actually did it 2 other times and wasn't on it. Anyways, another question. I was curious if you guys actually do that. And another one is the phrase, see a horn, bet a horn. We were talking about that with my buddies, and we actually tried to, every time we saw a horn, we bought it for a nickel and try and catching it. And we were successful in doing that as well, but again, we didn't stick with it 24/7. But just curious if you guys have superstitions like that and believe in stuff like that, or any systems that you actually tried out. So anyway, hopping the 7s for 3. I've seen it done, throwing 3 7s, but actually haven't bet it until this past trip, and it's something I'll be doing in the future. So anyways, just curious if you actually did those, betting the horns when you see a horn and hopping the 7s on the come out. Great podcast, keep it going. I will be listening to each and every one of them. Peace out. Bye.
This is always an easy question for me because no, I don't bet them.
You don't do it.
Huge house edge, and so I stay away from them. Yeah.
I hop to sevens when I'm covering a big horn bet on the come out.
Okay.
But I don't bet a horn when I see a horn, but you do see a lot of people do that, especially at Harrah's Southern California Rincon.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as they see a horn, then boom, there comes their bets. Yeah. And it frustrates the hell out of me because it slows the game down in the middle.
Oh, come on. This from the man who slows the game down so badly on the come out roll. It just takes forever. But no, neither one of us is superstitious. If we were to make bets like that, it would be for fun. But no, when a horn number comes up, the next roll is no less nor any more likely to be a horn number.
Yeah.
So,
as a matter of fact, you could probably do the math.
You can definitely do the math, but even if you kept track long enough, it's all right. So no from me, yes from you, because
yes with
you like
conditions.
With conditions, yes. All right. Let's end it with a follow-up call from Sue.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Sue calling. I said I would give a follow-up after I got back from my soccer tournament in Vegas. And there were a couple of things that were a new experience for me, so I wanted to share that. First of all, we didn't do so well on our second day in the tournament. The first day we did well. I got a hat trick in the first game, and we won 6-0. And then we lost the second game 1-0. And then on Sunday, everybody was either tired or not feeling well. We kind of tanked it, but it was a great time anyway. The weather was really nice in mid-November. Everybody in Vegas was very nice, down to the Residence Inn that I stayed at over near Green Valley Ranch, to all the casinos, the soccer tournament. People were great. Everybody was really, really friendly. So that was nice. Overall, really great experience. I stayed out at Residence Inn off Olympic. That was about 10 minutes from Sam Boyd, where we played our soccer tournament, the friendship tournament. And that was really convenient. It was right under the flight path of McCarran. It was kind of funny. When I checked in, the receptionist asked if I drove or flew in from San Diego. And I said, I drove, but I should have flown and then parachuted down into my room, because literally it was on the approach, probably the last 30 seconds before you land at McCarran. So that was fun. I also wanted to let you know that I stopped off at Eastside Cannery. That's off Boulder Highway, and it's kind of a locals place. Lost some money there and kind of walked out with my head held down. Wasn't feeling too good about that. So I wanted to win some of my money back, and that night we went as a team to the Italian restaurant at Sunset Station, which was very good. I was a little skeptical because they billed it as the best Italian food in Las Vegas, and it was at Sunset Station. But the service was fantastic. Very attentive. We had a large group of about 19 people, and they were excellent. Very good service from top to bottom. Had a really good meal, homemade pasta, which I was a little surprised at, and put in some money, my $2 bet right off the bat, into that patriotic sevens slot machine. Won $150 there, nice. So won my money back. And we finished off the trip over at South Point. My friends were staying there. They go there quite often and get free rooms. So we went to the sports book hoping to watch the women's national team play Canada on Sunday night. So that fizzled. Of course, people wanted to watch the Sunday night football game. So we ended up going to the bar there, Baja Miguel's upstairs, and the bartenders there were fantastic. They accommodated us. We had a group of about 8 people watching the game. They changed the station for us. They were very accommodating with turning up the sound because there were other people who were there already watching the football game. James was the bartender there. Everybody had drinks, lots of drinks too. And I think our bill came to $44. So we tipped James very, very well. He was really nice. It was a little bit more crowded than I thought it would be at South Point. Lots of cowboy hats around, so I think they're getting ready for the NFR to come in. It was a great trip overall. Soccer was fantastic. Nice to see, the Vegas Strong T-shirts and billboards on the way in, and hopefully they're recovering well. And anyway, just wanted to catch you up on that. Okay, bye.
I'm laughing because Sue was talking about how on that Sunday they didn't do very well in their tournament.
Right, after
people
they
were
ate pasta.
tired or not
Right.
feeling well. And I'm thinking anybody who goes to Vegas for some kind of sports tournament, that's Sunday. If they have to play, it's probably pretty rough.
Sunday's a rough day, and you're probably up late Saturday night, right?
Yes, that's right.
Drinking or gambling or eating a lot of pasta, Sue.
Right.
Maybe it was all the pasta they ate at the pasta place.
It could be. Anyway, good. Thanks for the call, Sue. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, Brian and Sarah for their recurring donation. Thank you very much. Also, another donation from another Brian. Thanks very much. Finally, a donation from Robin over at Anytime Gambling. He said... What?
He's finally a donation from Robin. Where's he been? Why isn't he donating?
And also a donation from Robin over at Anytime Gambling. He says, congratulations for being TravelZork's #1 gambling in Las Vegas podcast. Oh, yeah. So over at TravelZork, the inveterate gambler listed his top 10 gambling in Las Vegas podcast, and he put us at #1.
Nice.
So that's nice. Thanks very much. Robin goes on to say, spend this now or put it away for Connecticut. Yeah, that's right. Connecticut coming up.
We should save it for Connecticut. They may need it.
Vito contacted me today via email. I think I sent you my response to him.
I didn't.
You didn't read it today? We need to send him some details about when we're going. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, definitely looking forward to that. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listing showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at Facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. And finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. Well, while you're in Las Vegas, Mike, Zorkfest is going to be going on. So we want to wish good luck to everybody there. It's not just a gambling trip. It's a trip where people are going to learn how to take advantage of, different clubs and players clubs. And,
informational / gambling.
But I think they're probably going to be gambling quite a bit too.
I hope so.
Yeah, good luck to that. And good luck to you on your trip coming up. What do you got for us, Mike? Yep.
Well, nothing. I'm just excited about the trip coming up. I'm excited about all the football bowl games coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's
Very
right.
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego State looks good.
They look good,
Yeah, so we're happy about that. We do have one winning team left in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
yes, sir.
That team that was formerly called the San Diego Chargers, they're playing on Thanksgiving Day.
My whole life.
The day this comes out.
my whole life, I thought, how come the Chargers never play on Thanksgiving? And finally they're playing, and they're not a San Diego team anymore.
No, we have no interest in it. We should boycott that game.
Okay. All right, I'll boycott it.
Yeah, you boycott it, Mark. I think I'm going to go to work.
All right. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because this is coming out on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of our American listeners. Yep.
Yes. And, everyone around the world. Everybody should take a day and give thanks.
Yeah, well, I think some people do.
Yeah, they should. Well, not everybody should. Not some.
Okay, all right. Very good.
It's a good thing to do.
It is good. Anything else for us, Mike?
Eat a lot.
Oh, that's good advice always. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.